All right. Sports world, Undisputed is breaking apart. Shannon Sharpe is leaving Skip after 7 years. TD, what's the biggest reason why?
I think, Shannon has this reputation of being this loud, boisterous guy. You see him at the Lakers game, getting into it with Steven Adams. Under all of it, though, if you really know Shannon, you listen to his Hall of Fame speech, he is all about his grandmother.
Yep.
It's
She raised him.
exactly Southern woman. Shannon under everything is a warm, soft, sensitive guy.
Teddy
That
bear.
Yeah, that's who Shannon is. And at the end of the day, Skip's lack of that just aspect, I think, was the ultimate tipping point. And we saw it. I watched both of these live on air. With the NFL tweet that Skip tweeted out.
About
I
DeMar
don't know.
Hamlin. Yeah.
Yeah, it got brought up, but basically Skip. First of all, Shannon missed the day before. He's like, I don't even want to see this guy. So he took a day off. That's the first sign that there's some deep tension between these two. And then they were confused over whether or not they're going to talk about it. But that just unearthed all the tension for us to see. And
Yep.
Shannon lost his minds up. I remember him telling the Jen or whatever her name is, the host, like, you know what? Just you take it over. I'm not dealing with this. And then a few weeks later, for no reason at all, Skip just like it was about Tom Brady. And he's like, you're just jealous that your career had to end at X age and Brady's went on. And it was just a low. I mean, a lot of people can deal with it as just Skip being a jerk. But I think the fact that Shannon is such a warm, good guy, it really got to him. And it was just tension over that. And I think Shannon's the one who instigated
Yeah.
all this. He's the one who
I mean, not
negotiated out.
instigated. He's the one who wants out. He's the one who wants out. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. He instigated the like
Buyout. Yeah.
exactly.
All right. I'm pretty much in agreement with you, but see, here's what I think. TD, what's the one thing if you work with somebody, what's the one thing you want from that person?
Um, I open dialogue,
More important,
respect,
respect.
and he doesn't respect him.
This is Skip's strength, but it's also his weakness. No matter if you're in the sports journalist world, you really should understand, no matter how big or how good you are or how much sports you want, the athletes are still the stars and doing something more difficult than you. That's just an underlying theme you have to recognize. And Shannon Sharpe was a big time NFL player. People don't realize, you look at now, you think of, Pat Mahomes or Josh Allen, these big quarterbacks. Back in the day, back in the 80s, John Elway was one of the best quarterbacks along with Joe Montana, Dan Marino. Shannon Sharpe was his tight end. He was the guy. He was a Pro Bowl, Hall of Fame, just a monster.
But Top Skip gives him a lot of credit on air for
But
being a great
let me
athlete.
finish my point. My thing is, when they talk football, Skip watches all the football. You have to give him credit. Shannon watches all the football, but Shannon has that extra layer of
Yeah,
knowledge that Skip will never have. And I don't think Skip gives him that platform of respect where you have that player. He'll never say, well, you play, tell me, or very little. I just think it's a respect where Shannon deep down, because even if Skip's a caricature, I think we all agree Skip is a caricature of himself. So I think Shannon can get past that, but I don't think Shannon feels that Skip truly respects and values what he brings to the table as this tremendous athlete who's also funny and a hard worker. Like, Shannon's a talent that you can't find. And I don't think he feels that Skip really respects him and appreciates him the way he should. So I think that's the main reason.
yeah, I can agree with that because Shannon is a hardcore like prepper and worker.
Exactly.
I mean, he even admitted like his NBA knowledge. He even admitted before the show he wasn't really an NBA guy. He knew that they're going to be talking NBA 40, 60, whatever percent of the time. And now when I hear him talk NBA, you know it's not because he watched it in real time. It's because he went and did his research.
Yeah,
And
he's
the
amazing.
research he did was great because he knows his NBA history.
Well,
Yeah,
when
he's a pro. He's a
he's a
pro.
pro. When he started the show, he used to actually go back and rewatch the shows to see where he was. So I think that, but here's another thing I think might also be dry. That's the underlying thing, in my opinion, the respect aspect. But I also think one of Skip's flaws and one of his, again, it's sort of what's why you watch him, because he'll take these positions and he refuses to get, like, for example, right now, no matter what's going to happen, he's never going to say Jokic is better than Embiid because he took the position. Embiid should be MVP. Embiid is better. Jokic, and he's, no matter what, he's going to stick to that. And I think Shannon also feels every day he comes to work, there's almost a limit to what they could really do because Skip's never gonna, it's almost a
It was
revolving
off
door.
Shannon. They do that. Shannon also. He's like that with LeBron.
I agree. No, but that's my
Shannon
point. But
has taken Jokic's side.
yeah, I agree. And he likes to needle skip. I agree that's part of it. But my point is there is also a dead end aspect. Like there's how many years are they just gonna do
That's true.
Ron,
That's fair.
like because here's my point. If you go back to the early years of the show, they brought in way more guests. I remember Deion Sanders, Ray Lewis, all the guy, the tight Tony Gonzalez. They had more guests. It was a little, they really, in my opinion, hit a little bit of a rut. And if you go back, a lot of their fights are from 2022. That's when I think the tension just boiled, and it's a little bit, the show is a little bit run its course. The NBA playoffs, they've been good, but if you go back about 6 months ago, it was a little bit dry. The same thing. They didn't have many
I think
games.
that's fair. And it's a long shows out.
Yeah.
First take is 2 hours. They got to go 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
there's
It's just
there
the
is a
two of
lot of
them.
there's a lot of filler in there.
Yeah. So
I
yeah.
think that's fair. I think that's fair. And you can sense you do sense that they do get stuck in a hole.
Yeah.
And I think that coupled with the fact that he just doesn't like Skip.
Yeah. There is that underlying.
He just doesn't like him, Zav. He
Yeah.
even admitted a year ago, he's like, listen, we don't have a personal relationship. He goes, but that helps on the show, because we don't talk beforehand.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's fair. They've been at it for a while. They There is no room to grow. And also Shannon now, he's got his own podcast.
Yep. And it's doing,
Club
but he's actually
Shannon.
gonna have to give that up. That's also part of the Fox One buyout, but he could pick
Oh,
it up.
no, I heard he bought the rights. He got it all back.
Okay.
And I think too that's his show.
Yeah.
Undisputed is Skip's show.
I agree.
And I think he tasted, and he's different. He's different from Skip, and he doesn't like that Skip is a quote unquote jerk. I don't think he likes that. And he has to hitch his wagon and bite his lip because Skip is the hand that fed him onto the show.
Exactly. And he
And
does appreciate that.
He
does
appreciates it, but I can tell, Zav, Shannon has to bite his lip and just put up with Skip in a way that he would never do in the real world
Yeah.
because he's a good guy and because he gets it, and he gets that he's there because of Skip.
Yep.
But I think with his Club Shay, he's his own person, and he's warm with his guests. He
Yeah.
converses, and he likes the feeling of not being under Skip's shadow and being his own person. And I think all of that together. But man, that's a big, yeah, because it's a big platform to give up.
And it's
When
yeah.
you give up that platform. But I just think it's, and I've also heard that Skip is a real micromanager.
Yeah. Skip's a nutcase. He's a
And he
nutcase.
even told him, I read about this, I never saw it. Told him to put his glasses back on
Yeah,
when he
but
took them off.
yeah, but that's
I
kind of,
didn't, yeah, I didn't see it. So I
I
don't know the
saw it.
content.
When
Okay.
that's part of part of it. You could get heated in a debate show, but there's that, in my opinion, that underlying just
Yeah, and I think Shannon just like me, for example, I know a lot of jerks, but I see them as a jerk, but I still hang out, you know. I think it's just too many hours, too long. And I just think Shannon hates having his wagon hitched to
exactly.
Skip.
He wants to be free in himself and in charge.
And yes,
Yeah,
and not just be associated. I'm sure in their private life, he gets probably some hate because he's with Skip. You know, he gets thrown into the Skip basket. I'm
maybe.
sure he experiences that in his life.
Yeah.
And
All right.
so, well, if you work with Skip, you must like him, and that means you must agree with the way he is in life. And I think he just wants out of that. But
Yeah.
the real thing is, who's he going to replace him with? That's going to be good.
That is going to be interesting. All right. Good stuff. Talk to you later.
All right, see ya.